look at that cut. It's a nice thick one. You want to, if you can, aim for an inch. An inch thickness to a New York cut gives it so much nice tenderness on the inside when you cook in New York. And one of my personal favorites is the ribeye cut. Two different parts of the cow, but two different types of flavor and texture. I like the ribeye. There's more fat kind of throughout it. As you eat it, it's more tender. But the New York, less fat throughout, but gives you that nice steak flavor. Like it's steak. And what I really love is when it's cooked right, it's not too tough. You get a nice different flavor of steak. Even with a little char on the top of it, goes a long way. And after that, we have some asparagus, which will be one of our sides for the steak. And two big ingredients that I personally always want to have when I'm cooking this sort of dish is thyme. That's what thyme looks like. If you guys want to buy this ingredient, it's going to look like that, thyme. And it's always better fresh, like actually the actual plant. And rosemary. Love rosemary right there. Rosemary. Good stuff. And then, if you come over here, we have the final important ingredients, some tomatoes. This will be used for a side, as well as garlic. Garlic is really good, and butter. So if we get set up right here, I'm going to get into showing you guys how to prepare the ingredients for tonight. But how are you guys doing? How is everybody in the show? I want to see how you all are. Comment below. I'm going to interact with you guys a little bit as we go throughout. And by the way, I appreciate you guys supporting the show. Those of you who are watching, who are sending virtual gifts. We're at 136,000 diamonds. Maraming salamat. Jane, I love you too. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, guys, don't forget again to follow Scene Zone here on Kumu, and as well as give me a follow here on Kumu. We much appreciated. Thank you guys so much. And if I could, after I make all this, I'd love to allow each and every one of you to have a bite. But I don't know if you can send food through, or no, how about like virtual flavor? Is that a thing? Maybe one day in the future, there will be an invention how you can not only send pictures and text messages, but you can also send flavor. Wouldn't that be interesting? All right, cool. Anyways, I'll eat the food for you guys if that's any justice for you guys' curiosity. I'm going to show you how to make garlic real quick. This is an awesome, easiest way you can do it. Also want to be careful with your knives. You're just going to, if you come a little bit closer, you're going to get a nice colorful garlic like this, hopefully with a nice body to it. Lay it flat on there. Grab your nice knife, lay it flat, and with precision and aim, you're going to smack. I'm actually going to take off this bracelet. I don't want to get anything in the way. Don't want to cause any accident or injury. But yes, you're going to want to put that piece of garlic right on the table there, lay it flat, and just give it a nice smack. Smack that bug. Smash it. When you smash it, you take off the peel, and the garlic itself is broken up. When it's broken up, all the flavor can come out, right? Okay. Do about maybe 3 or 4 of them. Preferably 3 per steak would be a nice idea. Ooh, this is a nice garlic, thick one, huh? Nice smash to it. Then, once you do all your garlics, you're gonna get your thyme and rosemary set up, because we're starting off with the steaks, guys. All right. What I like to do with the rosemary is grab a couple branches here. You take maybe, let's say, 1 branch here. And we'll take another branch. 2 branches per steak. How does that sound, huh? Okay. What we're going to do with this is we're going to throw it maybe perhaps half time. And then with the butter and the olive oil in the pan, we're going to actually scoop the butter and olive oil over the steak. Okay, so we have our garlic and rosemary. Let's start off with a nice New York strip. Now, if we come over here with both of the steaks, we can get right into preparing the the pans. Now, a nice casting iron, I notice, actually brings the best flavor to the steaks rather than, the electric or those cheaper non-stick pans. What I love is a classic iron pan. Now, what we're gonna do is gonna let the pan get hot first before we add the olive oil, because you don't want the olive oil breaking down as the pan slowly gets hot. You want that olive oil getting in there when it's hot. That way you can stick in that steak as soon as possible. I'm gonna turn these on now. Alrighty. And we're gonna get them real hot, guys. You can see the fire from there. I hope you can. We're aiming for a nice hot pan on both of these. Okay. Here. Oof, we got two beautiful hot pans getting ready as well. What we're also going to want to do is turn on this fan. Now, I hope you guys can still hear me as I do this. But what's really important is we don't make the whole house go up in flames or smoke, right? You want that smoke going up in the fan or open the window or something like that. Right. Excuse the stove here for those sounds. It's part of that stove. It's called Brouilette. Oh, and this one works on something. Oh. All right, so we're waiting for the pans to get real hot. Once you get them real hot, then we're gonna stick the olive oil in and the steaks. So how are you guys? Are you guys liking the show? Are you guys liking the jacket? By the way, sound check. Please tell me if you guys can hear me well still. I'm reading your comments now. Let me know if you can see and hear me well with the fan on. Anybody can confirm if the sound is okay with me, please? Thank you. Hi, Kodeng. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Jovi Warriors. Maraming salamat. Hi, guys. Yana. Hello. Okay, well, I'm assuming that the camera or the sound will be okay for now. Let us continue the show. Now, let's see how hot it is. Put your hand over the pan. If it's got a good heat, then you're going to know it's already about time to stick in your olive oil. You're going to drizzle that olive oil in there. Just like that. Get a nice amount in there. With the tablespoon you both sides. And right when that olive oil starts to break down, you already know that it's nice and heat. It's like an ocean of olive oil already. Let's stick in our. First, we have on the right our ribeye. What you're gonna want to do also before you put your steak into the pan is you're gonna want the steak to sit outside of the fridge for at least 20 minutes. You don't want the inside of the steak cold because it's not gonna cook that well. So, if you guys can hear, what you're gonna want to do is have the steak sitting outside for about 20 minutes before you start cooking it. Make sure it's at room temperature, and when it is, stick it into that hot pan. You hear that sear? Like that, you know you're doing something right. All right. I'm just going to let that sit there. And don't forget to season your steaks. I'm going to season the top, get it nice and salty. Very nice and salty. You want it with good flavor. I like to put salt and pepper. When we flip it, we'll season the underside as well. And when we flip it, which will be in maybe perhaps 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, we will also put in the garlic, rosemary, thyme, and the seasoning as well. So we're going to hop onto this side. Not let it get too hot. It's smoking, it's a little bit too hot. It's really heat. Just a bit. Okay, that's nice. top of it, give it a lot of salt on it. More salt than so don't oversalt it. And speak up. Okay, I'm going to speak up a little bit louder for you guys. I noticed you guys are having a hard time hearing me. So I'm not angry. I'm not mad. But I'm just raising my voice so you guys can hear me. And then we're going to grab the steak over here with the seasoned side and stick it in there. Nice sound to it. You hear that? I can. And it sounds good. Okay. So on this side, here's another little technique that you guys can do to know when your steak is really good. You get your hand right here. See, you poke this part right here. That is rare. You touch these two. Still kind of rare, but medium rare. One of the medium rare now, right here with the middle finger. That's medium rare. Here is medium. A little bit hard texture. And then when you put your pinky in your thumb, that's well done. That's a hard texture. So when you are cooking your steak, you can press with a spoon the steak itself, and you kind of get an idea of how the roll is like. And personally, I like medium rare. I like it a little bit red on the inside. That's my favorite. But I know a lot of people out there also don't really like redness or blood to their steak, so they go for the well done. Now, while that's getting ready to be flipped soon, let's chop a little piece of butter. That should be a good amount per side of the steak. If it's too much, let me all right. Now you guys make your way this way a little bit. Come this way, please, and give it a nice close up. There we go. That is a nice ribeye steak here cooking. Almost about time to flip. Also, the way you can check is looking at that bottom. Yep, that's about time to flip. Flip it over. Woo, that is looking pretty. Again, you're aiming for about 3 minutes per side. You're going to stick in the butter now once it's halfway flipped. And now, grab about 3 garlics, stick it in there too. 2 sticks of your rosemary. Throw that in. Rosemary in. And also, you're also going to want to throw in a few sticks of thyme. I like to throw it on top. That way it's settled. Okay. I also remember with this steak, I didn't season one side of it. Side there. New York steak is a lot thicker. It's going to take a little bit more time. But here's another technique I want to show you guys. Here's that spoon. Here we go. Just grab a spoon. What you're going to want to do is not burn yourself, right? Grab it with a nice thingy like this. You're going to tilt the pan. Get all that juice on the bottom there. You're going to want to throw in actually the rosemary and thyme all in that juice. And scoop it, pour it over the steak. Pour it on top. That's all flavor that's gonna soak into the steak. Scoop it, throw on top, throw on top, throw on top, throw on top. Makes a huge difference of the texture of the steak and the flavor. You're getting all that rosemary and thyme flavor, as well as garlic inside there. All of that you're gonna want to scoop on top. Just like that. Then, you don't want your rosemary and thyme to burn, get it all, just lay it on top of the steak. Better to sit it on top. And you just keep your garlic on the side. We're going to take this bad boy out real quick. Because what happens when you cook a steak is after you cook it, it continues to slowly cook for maybe, I don't know, I want to say 5 minutes. But don't take my word on that. I know it cooks after for a good amount of time. So, even though it looks a little bit red on the inside or it's kind of still soft, it's still going to cook as you take it out, and then you let it sit. Let's check our resource over here. Yeah, she's going to need more time. Oh, one more thing I want to mention with New York. Good idea is to flip it onto the fat side. You want to cook that fat, right? So here, with that New York, Get that fat on the skillet. All that flavor. Okay, I'm actually thinking that this puppy is quite done already. Yeah. Pour some over the top again real quick. Have that nice flavor of butter and olive oil. Pour it on top of the rosemary, on top of the thyme. Now, once you do that, I think she's ready. We're going to take her out. Turn off the fire, guys. Don't want to burn the house down. Get your steak, take her out, put her right on top of your plate. Take a couple of scoops of the juice over the top of the steak like that. Pour it over. Now this is flavor right here. This is packed with flavor. There's salt, there's butter, there's olive oil. I'm just gonna pour it right over the steak like that. Put the garlic on top. The garlic is that nice texture where you put the garlic. Nice bite of flavor. Also, we do it this way. Don't dump this in. You're gonna want to save this juice because it's got so much rich flavor in it. You don't want it to go to waste, right? So we're gonna save this. We're gonna still use it for another dish. As we come over here onto the New York, I'm actually gonna get ready to flip this steak, but I want to see properly. Put some salt on the top of it right here, as well as pepper. And now let's flip her over. Don't use your hand on the cast iron. And now you flip that bad boy over. Give that a few more minutes. That New York is going to come out splendid, shining, shimmering, blended. Okay. Where is now what I also like to do with steak is when you put the steak in the pan, a lot of people like to shake the pan, they like to stir the pan, get it all moving around. What's actually, in often cases, better is just leave it. You just put it there and leave it. What happens is it develops a nice char to the steak that has flavor in the char. You see, if you look over here on the top, that little blacky top on top of the New York, that's packed with flavor. You wouldn't necessarily have too much of that if you're always constantly using the steak. So, to develop a nice little sharp crust on it, just to let it just sit there. That's what we're going to do. We're actually going to throw in our garlic, rosemary, and thyme into the New York. I personally never really used rosemary and thyme with the New York steak before. I actually don't cook New York steak often. I'm more of a ribeye kind of guy, but let's see how it comes out. Why not? Just take a nice chunk of butter. This much is. Let's throw that right on top of that nice ribeye. Then we're also gonna grab our rosemary, thyme, and garlic. Just grab it all and throw it in. Throw that goodness. Garlic on here. Let that thyme and rosemary kind of sit on the top for a little bit. We don't want to burn the rosemary at the moment. But once it starts to get closer to finishing up, we're going to mix all the juices and flavors, and it's going to come out like that. Hope you guys are enjoying the show, and just stick around because then we're going to go into eating the steak. We're going to be cutting it, slicing it, and we'll do a little mukbang for you guys. I think you will enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy it. But in the meantime, if anybody here actually loves to cook steak, I'd love to see your comments. How you personally like your steak? Do you like it medium? Do you like it medium rare? Do you like it rare? Do you like it well done? Which is your guys' preference? Or if you don't eat steak, then what do you like to eat? How would that be? Oh, sure! Let's get the butter into the side here, if you come a little bit closer, take a nice look at this. We are going to put that butter on the side there, melt that butter up. Woo! That is looking pretty good. Actually, nice bit. Now what we're going to do, mix all that rosemary, that thyme, olive oil, butter, garlic, and we're going to pour it on top. Again, this makes a massive difference. Wine. Actually, pour all of that on. Sweet to goodness. Do that for a next time. Give it a nice touch, nice feel. Give an idea of how much more time you need. You still need a couple more minutes. Still a little bit raw on the inside. Once that gets over. Alright. Now also when you're pouring the olive oil on the top of the steak, you're allowing the steak to cook more evenly also. Heat from the top, heat from the bottom, like an oven, right? Super good. Actually gonna open this up just a little bit. Okay, we're taking this one out. New York out. Okay. Take a nice look at this right here. I'm going to take this out. Look at that. Beauty, isn't she? That is a nice New York. Take a couple of spoonfuls of that butter and olive oil. Put it on top. Flavor. Okay. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do next is asparagus. Let's kill the fan here. Sorry if that was a little bit too loud for you guys. You couldn't hear me that well. We're gonna have to get moving a little bit. We don't want to run out of time. Okay, I think we're okay on time. We got asparagus next. Now, the way I like to make my asparagus is I notice at the bottom of the asparagus, we can actually set this up right here. What I notice about asparagus is, there we go, that the bottom of the asparagus can be kind of tough to eat at times. So when you get your asparagus, what you're gonna want to do with this amount and higher, that's the goodness, right? Here and down is kind of the hard to chew stuff. You're just gonna twist it, break off the bottom, save the good. You can choose what you want to do with the bottom. I don't use it personally. And you're just gonna do that with all your asparagus. Nice twist to it, huh? A twist. And you got some nice asparagus ready to get thrown into the pan. Now, we are gonna use this pan, which actually has steak sauce in it already. It's gonna have so much flavor to it. So let's get some heat on this, throw in our asparagus, then we'll go from there. Okay. Let's turn this on. All right, get her hot. Once that comes out to a nice heat level, we're gonna throw in the asparagus and butter, even another little bit amount of garlic. Hard to go wrong with butter, olive oil, garlic, right? Once you prepare some more garlics. And then after that, I'm gonna show you guys one final side dish, which is gonna be with tomatoes. Actually, not final, there's also potatoes. The P and the T, po and the toe. But let's prepare some garlics while that gets heated. Stick that on there, give it a nice smack, smack, smack. Now with this, you don't have to keep them whole. You can actually cut them into smaller pieces for the asparagus, and we'll throw them in later towards the end of the asparagus cooking. Peel them first. Get those peels off. You don't want that. And just kind of like chop them into small pieces there. That'll work fine. There we go. That's perfect though. Always keep your area clean and organized. You don't want everything falling on you in the middle of all the cooking, right? So we're just getting this to a nice heat. That's actually kind of good already. Yup. How's everybody doing in the audience? Hi guys. Kumusta, kumusta? So what I noticed, I'm gonna just read your comments a little bit. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks guys for joining. Hope you guys like my jacket. You know the drill. Thank you for the support, guys, for watching. Those of you who are on Dito Pa Rin, maraming salamat. Yes, see in the comments, we are cooking steak. So in the meantime, we're waiting for the steaks to kind of cook throughout. We just took them off the pans, and what happens when you take them off the pans is they continue to cook for maybe about 5 more minutes, or more or less. So in that time, we're just letting them sit. We're gonna prepare our, I was gonna say artichoke, no, asparagus. Throw all that asparagus in there, get that nice sizzle to it. Make sure they're all on the pan. You want them heated, right? You want them cooking. Throw that asparagus in there. Get them in there. Now what you can do is kind of put something over it. Make kind of like an oven sort of effect with a cover, with a little air to come out. We don't actually have a cover with us right now. This way it works fine also. Actually, we do have a cover. So take a nice cover. You're just going to cover it with a little crack so the smoke can kind of come out. But what that does is it keeps the heat kind of in that area, so it's almost like an oven effect to keep the asparagus. You're not just frying it, but you're making it kind of cook from the inside out as well, like you're having an oven effect. Now, after a few minutes, we're going to throw in some butter again, some salt, some pepper, and your garlics. Now, they're more on the little minced side of it. It's not a full garlic. They're chopped and minced. They're not chopped. We're going to throw that in, and then that's the finish to the asparagus. That's all you really need. If you want, you can also throw in some rosemary and thyme. That works great too. But when it comes to size, I prefer rosemary with asparagus and a little bit of thyme with potatoes. Potatoes and thyme actually go together really well. So let's take a little bit of rosemary. I'm actually going to use some of this rosemary. Stick it into these beautiful asparagus. Who here likes asparagus? Anybody like asparagus? I love asparagus, and it's actually really good for your prostate. That's what I've heard. So if you guys have any problems down there, take a bowl of asparagus and go at it. You might surprise yourself. Okay. Woo! She's looking pretty. Man, if I could marry a dish of food, she'd be the one right here. You guys, come take a look at this. Come take a nice look at this asparagus. Ooh, all right, let's put in some olive oil. Right about time. Drizzle some olive oil on that. A little bit of your butter. Not too much. Stick that in there. Okay. And your rosemary. Once you get that in there, you're gonna want to put some salt and pepper towards the end. And for now, we're just gonna mix it around. Nice asparagus for a side of steak. Can't really go wrong there. sides so they both cook. Now while this cooks, I'm actually going to get prepared onto the potatoes. That way we're saving time, right? Multitasking. Sorry, not potatoes. Yes, potatoes. Now, if you come over here, you can see we have some potatoes already pre-baked. Now, if you want them baked, you want them softened, it's like the way we're going to make it. You don't want to have to, what you're going to want to do is boil it first, right? So let's get these potatoes up. Okay. Let me take a look at these potatoes. If you read this with these, and try to look at these bad boys. We got some potatoes in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We're gonna get to dicing these potatoes into small pieces so that we can get ready to throw them onto the skillet for this asparagus. These are finishing up soon. We're gonna take our potatoes and put it on the pan. Turn off the fan. Why not? Asparagus isn't throwing out too much smoke, huh? We can have this set up where the camera is just standing there, where it's pointed this way, please. Thank you. That's good. Let's get chopped into these puppies. We're just gonna make them into kind of like cubes. If I can get a nice knife somewhere. Okay. Here's a potato. Nice and hot potato. Hot potato. Ouch. Yes, indeed, hot. Get ready to get chopping. Ouch. Damn, this is really hot. Use something to hold the potato. Okay. Usually it would be boiled a little bit less, but this is okay. We're just gonna have kind of like almost a mashed potato effect, huh? Wow. These are really, really soft. I like soft. So when you're boiling them, you're gonna want them soft, not too soft, but once they get soft, where you can stick a fork in there and have some texture in it still, as you cook the potato in the frying pan, it kind of makes it into like a French fry effect. So it cooks the potatoes a little bit more, and then you have some nice potatoes with nice texture on it. And from there, you got nice sides of potatoes with asparagus. And we're also going to make some tomatoes. So stick around for that, guys. Anyways, everybody who's watching, thank you for watching till now. Thank you for the virtual gifts, those of you who are supporting. If you guys haven't yet, please follow this channel as well as Scene Zone. At the top, you can hit Scene Zone's account, hit that follow button, as well as my account. You can hit that follow button. It'd be much, much appreciated. So, right over here, we have a pan where we have some leftover steak juice. Where we're not gonna let this go to waste. We're gonna use this for our potatoes. Now, let's turn on the fire. Turn the back one first. Turn the other one first, it will turn on the front one. If I could have somebody do this for me, please, that'd be much appreciated. In the meantime, while that gets turned on, I want to show you guys the potatoes over here. We got them chopped up like that. Now, you're going to want to aim for like a cube base, right? You're going to want them cubed, but for now, we're just going to have them